The new president of France wanting to organize wanting to talk about the climate crisis. He is totally committed to solving the climate crisis. And I'm very the G8 nations of the world, the strongest, largest, most powerful nations are meeting at the end of next week, and our country, unfortunately, is blocking a consensus on the desire and efforts of the other nations there to try to move quickly to solve the climate crisis. And just yesterday, the president offered a new approach that is purely and simply based on smoke and mirrors and has the transparent purpose of delaying the efforts that could start now. The other nations are ready to go, but by putting forward a scheme to just have more and more talk and more research without recognizing that we have a planetary emergency right now, and the world is looking to the United States of America for the moral leadership that we should be providing to the world right now, not at some point a decade from now. My wife, Tipper Gore. I was before the kids than the one at the convention. I've got a lot of books to sign and a lot of friends here and a lot of folks who are interested in this book. So let me urge you to read The Assault on Reason. Just a brief word about this book. I'm one of millions of Americans who has had the uneasy feeling over the last few years that something's gone wrong with the way we make decisions in America.
No.
Facts and logic and reason seem to play a smaller role than they should, and a much smaller role than our founders hoped they would. And what the climate crisis has in common with the invasion of Iraq is that in both cases there were more than enough facts to convince any reasonable person before the decisions were made that we should have done the exact opposite of what the White House decided should be American policy. In both cases, the facts were ignored, the best evidence was ignored, and preconceived ideological notions were chosen as policy even before there was any reasonable discussion of what the pros and cons were. For example, turns out, as many said before the invasion, that contrary to the impression given to the country, Saddam Hussein was not the one who attacked us on 9/11. And 2/3 of the country believed at the time the Senate voted to go to war that we were going in to attack the person who was responsible for 9/11.
Yes.
And it's a shame that that false impression got out there as far as it did and lasted as long as it did. And half of our people still think that Saddam was involved with the attack of 9/11. Now, the late Senator Pat Moynihan used to say everyone's entitled to his own opinions, but not to his own facts. And we can disagree on what the right choices are in matters of war and peace and human survival and the global environment and health care and the other issues that face us. But when there is abundant evidence that can be tested against the rule of reason, that can be validated through honest and genuine discussion and debate, and reasonable people come to an agreement that, yes, these facts are true, then they should not be treated as battlegrounds. They should be treated as a basis for discussion of what the reality is that we need to change and need to deal with. And if wealthy special interests or ideological advocates who already think they know best and don't need any more facts, don't need to ask any questions, they've just decided the way they would like the world to be, and they feel so strongly that they're not going to let any evidence change their preconceived notions. Okay, that's the way kings used to operate in the ancient times. That's the way dictators operated in the early part of the last century, but that's not the way the United States of America is. So this book, The Assault on Reason, is my effort to lay out as clearly as I can what it is that's gone wrong, how it is that money has a much bigger influence than reason in today's American political system, and why it is we keep making these catastrophic mistakes of the kind that have left 150,000 of our troops trapped in a civil war over there in Iraq, and God bless them for serving our country. But they deserve leadership that doesn't put them in situations like that. But the solutions are not going to come from simply checking a box on a ballot and washing your hands of it. They're not going to come from simply selecting a candidate or a political party. The solutions will come when we, the people, reclaim the integrity of our American democracy.
That's right.
And that's why this book not only lays out a description of what's gone wrong, but a detailed prescription for how to fix it. And the key ingredient is you. And so I hope you'll read it. I hope you'll pass it on to others. I hope you'll think about it and talk about it. And then I hope with all my heart that you'll get involved in the growing mass movement to solve the climate crisis and to solve the problems that are currently preventing American democracy from working the way our founders intended it to. We've got everything we need to restore it to good health. We've got the tools we need. We need the political will. But as I've said before, in the United States of America, political will is a renewable resource. So let's get with it.